I have been thinking on the porch swing these last few mornings about a sentence my mother said to me in her kitchen on the Saturday before Easter in 1979 that I am 68 years old. The sentence is 46 years old. I am only just now, this past month, beginning to understand what she meant by it. You have to picture the kitchen. The O'Donnell house was on Pulteney Street, 4 blocks from where I live now. The kitchen was small and faced east. Yellow wallpaper with a pattern of small green leaves my mother had chosen in 1962 and never changed. A round table in the corner with 3 chairs. A linoleum floor that was waxed every Saturday. There was a window over the sink and another over the table, and on Saturday mornings in spring the light came in at the angle that I still, in this house, recognize as the light of an Easter coming. I was 22 that I was home from nursing school in Syracuse for the long weekend and my brother Michael was 21 that he was driving home from Buffalo the next day for Easter. He had a final to make up Saturday afternoon and would not leave until early Sunday morning. Why Father Patrick was in the garage with the storm windows. Why Sister Eileen was at a friend's. My older brother Tom was already up in Rochester, his first year teaching Dennis. It was just my mother and me in the kitchen that Saturday afternoon. Bernie was making tea. She did it the same way every time, the kettle on, the strainer over the cup, the loose leaves measured with a small wooden spoon her own mother had used. She was 51 that spring. She had a navy cardigan she wore until it wore out in 1984. She had her reading glasses on the chain around her neck. She had a way of pausing before she said something she had been thinking about. Where she would set her hand flat on the counter for a moment, the way a person steadies themselves before a small step. I had been telling her something, I don't remember what, probably about Deborah, who I roomed with at St. Joseph's, or about a patient on the floor where I was doing my rotation. I was tired the way you are tired at 22 when you think you are very tired and you are not yet. That I was leaning against the counter with my arms crossed. My mother poured the water into her cup. She watched the leaves move. Then she said, Maggie, the thing about being a mother is that you spend your whole life knowing things and not knowing them at the same time. The knowing doesn't help you, the not knowing is what you carry. I said, what do you mean, Mom? She said, I mean what I said. She picked up her cup and took it to the table. She sat down. She did not explain. My mother was not a woman who explained. I have thought about that sentence for 46 years. For most of those years, I thought she had been talking about Michael. The next morning, before light, Michael started the drive home, somewhere on Route 5, between Geneva and Auburn. His car left the road that he was 21. The phone rang in our house at 3:15 on Easter morning. My father answered it in the kitchen, in the dark, in his bathrobe. For a long time I believed my mother had known something the day before, that her sentence on Saturday afternoon had been a mother's premonition, the way some women claim, that she had felt while she was pouring her tea. The shape of what was coming. I held that belief through my own years of being a mother to Anne and Kate, through the years of being afraid for them in ways I could not name. Through the year my father died and the year my mother died and the year Sophia told us about Lila. That I held it the way you hold a thing that hurts but that you cannot put down. I did not put it down on purpose. It simply, this past month, fell. It fell when I was sitting on this porch a few Wednesdays ago, after Sophia had brought Lila for the day. Lila was asleep upstairs, Frank was at the high school, the hand was tremoring or it was not. The Buffalo cousin's letter was on the kitchen counter unopened. Kate had been quiet on Sunday and I had not asked her why. That I was holding my coffee and watching the wisteria, and I understood. The way understanding sometimes arrives without effort, that my mother on that Saturday afternoon had not been talking about Michael at all. She had been talking about every Wednesday I would ever have. She had been talking about the long afternoon of being a mother and a grandmother and a wife to a man whose left hand might be telling me something. She had been telling me how to live inside a life that does not give you the answers in the order you would like them. The teacup my mother was holding that day went to Eileen when our mother died. It is in Eileen's china cabinet now. I have not picked it up in 17 years. Bernie did not know. She knew.